Ah, hello there, friends. Welcome to the fire. Got a interesting story about D&D alignment here, entitled Two PCs Turn Evil for Counting Their Kills. r/RPG horror stories, posted by Pickle-Rick 2137. So, do you remember the scene from The Lord of the Rings when Legolas and Gimli had their contest about who will kill more orcs? So, a few months ago, I and one other player from one of the campaigns decided to do something like this with our characters. We both were fighters and basically the main damage dealers in our party. Our team took part in a large battle between mercenaries and army deserters. It was our job to capture the deserter's chief and arrest him. But on the way, we had to face a lot of his soldiers. Before the battle came, my and the other player's PC made a bet on which one of them was better at killing, and therefore they were supposed to count their kills in the battle. Who kills the most enemies wins. The battle lasted quite a long time, literally 2 to 3 hours of combat, divided into 3 smaller clashes in 3 locations. First in the village, then in the forest, and at the end in the ruins of a fort. And during it, our fighters were shouting every time they killed someone. At the end of the battle, my fighter counted 11 kills and the other one won with 13. We also managed to capture the leader of the deserters, and that was the end of the session. After the session ended, the DM informed me and the other fighter that from now on, our characters turned evil. Mine turned from good to evil, and the other one from lawful to lawful evil. We were kinda shocked. Like, why? DM explained it was because our PCs enjoyed killing and made it our fun. Or something like that. Of course, we disagreed with this and gave him a lot of arguments against his decision. For example, that we killed deserters who raided nearby villages and harmed innocent civilians, that we saved the lives of other mercenaries, or this is what mercenary work was based on. The rest of the party supported us a bit, but remained mostly neutral. DM, however, refused to listen to us and declared that this was the final decision and will consider whether to change it back if our PCs would behave. The whole situation took about 2 to 3 sessions, after which he had to bring the characters back to their original state because we weren't doing anything wrong, just good things. But in the time of those 3 sessions, some of the NPCs started to act weird towards our fighters, like they were not trusting us or were scared of our characters or something like that. It didn't really make too much sense because no one except some mercs knew about the situation, and after everything went back to normal, all NPCs just magically started to trust us again as if nothing happened. I still don't know why he did that. Like, it didn't serve the plot in any way, and it wasn't part of any interesting story. Honestly, the DM here sounds like they're going off of video game logic, especially since the NPCs, who knew nothing about the situation, would not treat them any different. And the fact that it took, only 2 to 3 sessions to quote-unquote reset the characters' alignments? Yeah. Honestly, in a high fantasy setting, the PC's actions would not be that out of place. Now, in a modern setting, like in the real world in games such as World of Darkness, I could then see how the DM's actions could then be justified. Sounds like to me that the DM here was applying their own personal, real-world morals and punishing the PCs with it. At best, what the PCs did here, as mercenaries/adventurers in a fantasy setting, could be considered a coping mechanism in a feudal era setting where orcs raided villages on a Tuesday while corrupted dark wizards raided the villages on a Thursday. Now, I could also see the whole good to evil jump if it was explained that the deserters were unwilling participants in a war and were just trying to get back home to their families, and the PCs were willingly hunting them down knowing this. But I don't think this was the case, at least according to OP's story. Also, in this case, if there had to be an alignment shift, personally, if I was DM, it would not have been good to evil. Maybe, just maybe, good to neutral, as the PCs did not start collecting trophies like ears, or nor did they start torturing captives or enslaved anyone. Anyway, when it comes to alignment, there's really a lot of factors to take into consideration. There's a lot of debates about it, and if we were just to go into a deep dive, this video would be hours long. So, I'll just ask you, the audience, what do you think? Sound off in the comments. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And would you kindly follow the socials posted in the description below. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.